A bloody butcher from the netherworld is hunting living people. Can a mother and her daughter save themselves from the poltergeist? Welcome to Psychics Investigate, where people with special abilities investigate tangled criminal cases and solve incredible mystical riddles. In this episode, the psychics responded to a request for help from Tamara Ivanova from Ukraine. She claims that her only daughter, Yulia, is about to die. For some time now, Tamara has been seeing the same nightmare of a fresh grave in her daughter's room.
A railing and a tombstone, and lots of wreaths and flowers. I'm afraid of this dream.
Tamara is panicked because 20 years ago, after she had a similar nightmare, she lost her son.
Dennis and the boys were playing football at the seashore, and he accidentally hurt his foot. The fever hit him after 3 days, and he was really sick. 4 days after the injury, he died.
The medics diagnosed the 16-year-old Dennis with acute osteomyelitis, a rare condition.
This is an inflammation of the bone marrow when the bone starts rotting. As a rule, the provoking point is an injury, which is then followed by so-called septic shock. That is, a huge amount of microorganisms from the center of infection penetrate the bloodstream, which spreads the infection.
The teenager's sudden death came as a shock not only for his family, but also for the medics. The ailment couldn't have progressed so quickly to kill a person in just 4 days.
As a rule, it takes hematogenous osteomyelitis weeks or even months to develop.
I begged God not to take him away from me.
And 40 days later, the nightmare about the grave in the bedroom repeated. That time, it took the life of Tamara's husband, Ihor.
Adenocarcinoma, a cancerous tumor in his stomach. It was something terrible.
And now, for a month already, the nightmare of her daughter's death has been tormenting Tamara. Yana Pasinkova and Olena Kurilova, who are among the strongest psychics in the project, are going to help the mother and her daughter. Yana and her colleague are on their way.
The picture is the following. A dark man with a ferocious beast's gaze holds a shard of something in his hands, and blood is dripping from it. It feels like he's murdered somebody. There's Olena in there.
A huge piece of glass fell and smashed just a step from another psychic, Olena Kurilova. As it turned out, the draft made the glass on the staircase window fall.
This man's spirit is trying to stop us, but I don't understand who he is yet.
Yana, last night I saw teeth in my dream, a whole heap of human teeth. The woman who called us, Tamara, it was her hand. And into it, the teeth were falling.
This is a bad dream.
It's possible there were lots of similar deaths in this family.
Tamara injured her leg and can barely walk now, but she still went outside to meet the psychics. Her daughter is at the college, but she's going to be back soon.
Hello.
Hello, Tamara. Don't even stand up, please. Sit down. To understand what is going on, we need to start with the first death. Tamara, tell me, what was your son's name?
Dennis.
Do you have his photo? I was shocked by the photos Tamara showed us. In them, her son was in the coffin, and photos from funerals contain the death energetics and can be harmful. You shouldn't keep them.
It's the same as if you put the coffin in front of a mirror, and the dead person leaves their imprint in the mirror.
As soon as Olena told Tamara about the dead person in the mirror, I again had a vision of the aggressive man with the bloodied shard in his hands. That time, the man approached me and stood very close, trying to tell me something, but he couldn't utter the words because he had no teeth left in his mouth.
I tuned into the photo of Dennis, Tamara's son, to understand what could take him to the other world. Dennis, my son. Mom. Mom? May I lie down? Mom, I'll lie down next to you like this.
Yes, it happened. It was a few hours before his death.
It's been 20 years, but the poor mother remembers it all clearly, as if it happened just yesterday, and she barely holds back her tears. Who and why has been taking away her closest people?
I asked the cards who was responsible for Dennis's demise. The answer stunned me numb. The cards said it was Dennis's mother who was to blame for his death.
Your son says, my mother cursed me with her words and deeds. Is it true?
It wasn't me. He was 4 when he became my son.
Do you mean you adopted him?
It turned out that when Tamara met her future husband, he was divorced, and he was raising Dennis by himself.
Dennis immediately became very dear to me. When he saw me at the bus stop where I was waiting for them, he broke free from his dad and started running, shouting, "Mom!" When I embraced him, I felt like something changed deep in my soul. I felt he was my son.
The woman raised the boy like her own child. She put her heart into him. But the boy's biological mother didn't even show interest in her son.
Drugs, theft, promiscuous lifestyle, jails.
We realized that Dennis was condemned to death, but his biological mother, not Tamara. But why would that woman do it? The mother's curse is a terrible thing. It's even worse than magic. Do you understand? It's a powerful energetic impulse. It can even go without magic.
Alone. You'll stay alone. You'll be without them. They're mine. One is my son, and the other is my husband, and 2 candles. Look, the 2 funeral candles lit by her.
She said it directly. She told me she'd light the candles to make me unhappy.
It turns out that Dennis's biological mother lit funeral candles for both her son and her husband, and soon afterward, both died. Then why are Tamara and Yulia in danger now? Does it mean that something else is trying to drag them to the other world?
Hello. I'm Yulia.
Yulia, pleased to meet you. I thought the problem might be in the apartment. Show me your apartment.
Yes.
You stay with me, please? I'd like to talk to you in private. You adopted her, didn't you? I have a feeling it was your son's last will.
I was at an orphanage for babies, on business, when she was brought there, and he saw her.
For half of her life, the woman was an epidemiologist. In the spring of 1998, she went to the orphanage to inspect its sanitation. 2-year-old Yulia was brought there. It so happened that Tamara's son, Dennis, arrived there. He came to take the key to the apartment from his mother.
He saw them deliver the girl in an ambulance. She didn't want to go, so they had to take her out by force, but she grabbed a woman in a white gown and screamed desperately. So, Dennis told me, I can't watch it. She won't make it here. Mom, let's take her home.
The Children's Service took the girl from her alcoholic mother, who organized a den for drug addicts at home.
And when you lost your son, you made a decision you wanted to adopt this girl.
I didn't know Dennis at all, but I'm grateful to him for saving my life. Literally. I don't know what could have happened to me, but now I can live a normal life.
Tamara gave all her love to her adopted children, but why couldn't she have children of her own? When I realized what had happened to her, I had a lump in my throat. You were pregnant. Oh, I see the baby conceived by violence in you.
I was raped. I was a teacher, and he was my student at the night school. He was 2 years elder than me.
Tamara had just graduated from the pedagogical university and still lived with her parents.
And your mother told you to have an abortion.
Yes,
After that, no matter how hard you tried to have a child of your own, you failed.
secondary infertility, yes.
The woman has lost almost everybody she loved. Yulia is the only one who's left, but she's also in danger now.
I feel great jealousy in this apartment. I see something fall from a hand.
We found coins and earth, and there were crosses drawn.
I felt the energy of anger and envy from their neighbor.
Mom herself saw her put coins on the stairs.
It was quite possible she was the cause of the misfortune in Tamara's family. I needed to consult Olena urgently.
Olena Kurilova and Tamara are climbing the stairs to the 4th floor.
What that woman's name?
Katerina.
Katerina. We would like to talk to you, please.
Tamara says her neighbor has no job and almost never leaves her apartment. However, nobody answered the door.
Yes, I heard someone stand behind the door and watch us. But the neighbor didn't come out.
This is magic to make you broke.
I don't drink or waste money in vain, and I don't buy different unnecessary things, but I'm still broke.
But if the neighbor's magic isn't the cause of the death that's been threatening Tamara and Yulia, then who or what is trying to take the women's lives?
I have the vision of the teeth again. The woman takes a handful of coins and gives them to somebody, and in return she receives a handful of teeth. And the teeth are not animals. They're human teeth. I heard her voice. It belonged to a young woman. The woman was repeating something like Sturva. That is a bitch.
But who is this young woman? And why would she wish death to the mother and her daughter?
I suggest that we go into your apartment.
Yes, let's go. Hush. Oh.
When Olena entered, she felt unwell.
Blood. There are pools of blood. Over here.
My head's burning. I can't see anything. My eyes hurt, and there's something dripping. Blood. It was there and there. It was on the banister. A man comes in. His head is not okay. He enters. Interestingly, he's not walking. He's running, dashing, and shouting, "I'll kill you! I'll kill you all!"
Me and her were attacked with a knife.
This is awful. How could it be? Some man tried to stab the women at their home.
This is him. He's sturdy, big, and his hair is red. He's holding a technical knife. He grabs you by the hair and cuts your neck.
Yes. He slashed me badly. First he stabbed me here, but then he probably understood the heart was from the opposite side and started stabbing there. But I resisted.
I have a feeling of you wearing a bloody mask on your face.
I have 11 knife wounds.
This good-looking young woman has cuts all over her face. They're invisible now because after the attack, she had an incredible number of plastic surgeries.
And it turned out that the man didn't stop at that.
He raped me orally. My left cheek was cut through.
The women's insane screaming was heard all over the building. However, none of the neighbors opened the door. The mother and her daughter crawled outside on their bellies. There, passers-by saw them bloodied and called the police and an ambulance.
Do you know the man who attacked you? Who was it?
It was our neighbor. He attacked us.
This is impossible to comprehend. But why did the man do this to the mother and her daughter? How did he enter their apartment?
The doorbell rang. Yulia answered. I heard her speak to somebody. It was our neighbor Nelia. She and her family rented the apartment across from us. She said her husband got drunk. She feared for her baby and wanted to call a taxi, so she asked to use our phone.
Tamara and Yulia let the woman with the baby in her arms in, and they probably saved their lives with it. When the drunken man woke up, his wife wasn't home. So, enraged, he attacked the women instead of her.
Here, I have the photo. This is what she looked like, her face cut all over. Here's the head, the forehead, and this is the check cut through.
We need to understand what the source of the danger is and what we can do about it.
I saw a man looking at me from the mirror. He had dark skin and was covered in blood. I hear a whisper saying, "Sturva." Are these things yours? Wow. You look at that.
There's something there.
Give me scissors.
Everyone froze. What could be hiding inside a seemingly ordinary dress?
This is a human tooth. Look.
This is incredible, but where did the tooth come from? Who and why hid it inside the dress?
The tooth was pulled out as part of a magic ritual from a jaw of a dead person who was a murderer.
It's been done to you so you would die. Tell me, where is this dress from?
I have a Nigerian husband.
It turned out that many years after her husband's death, Tamara felt lonely and married again. This time, it was a Nigerian man.
He presented me with the necklace when he proposed me to marry him.
The man is currently home in Nigeria.
I recalled the dark man from my vision, the one with the shard in his hands and without teeth.
You were lonely for a long time, but then met him online, didn't you?
He's Nigerian, and he's very handsome.
Did you love him?
I loved him madly.
Tamara showed us the photos of her husband. What can I say? Of course, he's about 30 years younger than her, but age is never an obstacle for love.
A woman did it.
Listen, he has a wife.
Did you know he had the wife?
Yes.
Polygamous marriage?
He said she'd chosen the dress for me.
Oh, so this is what she'd chosen.
Tamara was the Nigerian woman's rival, and she decided to get rid of her, and Yulia in addition.
He texted me, warning me to be cautious. He said he couldn't tell me the truth and said I had to read about voodoo.
The tooth we found in Tamara's dress belonged to a dead person, and the word the woman was whispering in my vision was a curse. I heard it silently, ringing in my ear. Sturva.
We were shocked to learn the translation of the word sturv. It's a verb that means die in Hausa. Does this mean the African wife condemned her rival to death?
We need to neutralize the curse.
Olena began carrying out the ritual. I turned to Yulia and saw the spirit of the man with the bloodied shard in his hands.
I don't feel well. It's like a lump in my throat.
This is something terrible.
The spirit resisted. He didn't wish to leave. He took possession over Yulia, and so she fainted.
The clairvoyant was saying prayers over Yulia, but she remained unconscious. Eventually, when the crew decided to call an ambulance, the woman suddenly opened her eyes.
Let go of her. Get out. Let go of her. Get out. The spirit left the young woman's body, but it didn't go away. It was still there, in the apartment. We had to catch it and make it leave. And suddenly, I saw him in the mirror. It was our chance not to let him in again. Smash it! The link between the spirit and this family was destroyed. He stayed in the mirror world, where he can't harm anybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hold on, it's going to be fine. You'll marry soon.
After a while, we contacted the family. They were doing well. Even after what she went through, Yulia found happiness and is now preparing to be a mother.
I'm a future mom.
A future mom. Well, what a belly.
The baby is all right, and my condition is fine.
We are genuinely grateful that you came and helped us. Thank you so much.
Jealousy is a murderous thing. The cunning present from the Nigerian rival almost took the lives of the poor woman and her daughter. If you're impressed by this story, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Many more impressive stories are still to come.